would call it an eye to
throw out everything you thought you knew about diamond shopping.
You know too much. You're dangerous.
I would never recommend using the 4 C's. This is what the industry doesn't want you to know.
There's a big fear in corporate mall jewelry stores for education. After I had worked in a mall jewelry store, went and worked for GIA, the Gemological Institute of America, as a staff gemologist. My mom needed me to move back home and help her. I went back to the jewelry store that I worked in. Super easy. The district manager wanted me to start managing all the other stores. I didn't make it that long. There's a big fear in corporate mall jewelry stores for education. The first thing the manager told me is, you know too much. You're dangerous to this store. I had a customer come in. She was a nurse. She wanted to wear her ring all the time and, switching gloves all the time. I'm like, okay, we can find you a really great ring, but we have to be mindful. No surface reaching inclusions because you're going to knock your hands around. We want it to be nice, low profile, but we want the band to be wide so it doesn't just easily slide off your finger. Like, I had it all planned out. How are we going to keep this ring, this diamond, on this lady's finger, washing your hands, banging your hands around? She wants to wear a diamond all the time. So I found a great diamond in their budget, the size she wanted, everything. VS2. And I found one that I looked at the GIA report. I'm like, hey, listen, this checks all the boxes. It's in your budget. It's in your size. You wanted a nicer one. Okay, get it in. I open it up. It is not that. It is not a VS2. It was, I would call it an I2. Because it had a feather from girdle to girdle, the round part or the outside edge of the stone. When you have a feather, a surface reaching inclusion like that, okay, diamonds aren't indestructible. I go to my manager. I'm not selling her this diamond. Well, you can knock $1,000 off. No.
It's not going to last a long time.
It's not what we agreed to. It's not what I told her. It's not what I took the deposit on. It's not what we discussed at all. He looked me in the eye and he said, you are dangerous to the jewelry industry.
Oh my gosh.
I'm going to chat about
the 4 C's.
The 4 C's. Okay, this is a whole booklet of the 4 C's. We have color, clarity, cut, and carat weight. This is a really great guide if you want to learn what these things mean. But Jordan, how do you and I feel about this?
Oh my gosh, I would never recommend using the 4 C's to make a diamond purchase. We're talking thousands and thousands of dollars. Don't base it on criteria that you can't even see as the customer. Look at the diamond. Do you like the diamond?
Hey, Jordan.
Do you want to pay for the diamond? Yes, Rebecca.
What did I used to do?
Guess what, everybody? Rebecca was a diamond grader for GIA. Throw out everything you thought you knew about diamond shopping.
It's true. Now, I do use them as a little bit of a guide.
Especially for value, right? For pricing.
Exactly. And also so people know what they're getting. I think one of the biggest things that we need to address is, do you love it? Do you love it? When you look at this stone, does it make your heart smile? Like, I have this almost 4 carat old mine
It's
cut.
amazing. It's so beautiful.
It is an ST in color. So diamonds, when they're graded, they start at a D and then they go to Z. D is colorless. And then Z is a muddy brown color, kind of. When you're looking at color, the way that GIA grades color is D, E, and F. When you look at it face up, so you're looking at, it kind of works, the front down into the diamond, you see no color. And then when you put it like this, you can barely see any color. Now, G, H, and I, when you look at it like this, you see no color. When you do that, you see color. Super weird. J, K, and L, you can start seeing color here, and then it progresses down the scale. If we have a buyer who it's important for them to have a nice, bright diamond, I highly suggest for people to stay in that GHI. If they're like, oh, no, I want a white diamond, but I don't want to spend a lot of money. I'm like, GHI. A lot of the jewelry that we wear, like the little side diamonds, we call that melly. A lot of the melly in jewelry is GH&I because one, it's not crazy expensive. Two, you can't tell any color when you're looking at it as you normally do. I mean, most of us don't look at a diamond like upside down, right?
And especially, I think even in the industry, I think it's really hard to distinguish, like if you have two diamonds side by side that are even like 3 color grades different, it's hard to distinguish that. So if you shrink the stone down, if it's a small stone, it's even harder. And also, who is looking that closely? Who's grabbing your hand and being like, are these eye color?
And one of my favorite things is that when I worked at GIA, not all of us could color grade. There were very, very few people in the entire lab that could pass the test to become a color grader. So what does that tell you about everybody else in the world?
I once saw one of the most beautiful diamonds I ever saw was an R color. It was a big old marquee, R color, but like it had this depth to it, I think because it was a little bit darker. But Rebecca, your diamond, I think it's one of the prettiest diamonds I've seen. Because what's so fun about yours too is it's kind of green.
It's like a green diamond.
It's like, you don't notice it at first. You're like, wow, it's a really pretty diamond. It's really unique. And then you look and you're like, that's a green diamond.
At the moment, it's being worked on right now to get my my wedding bands fit around it, that I'm putting DEMANTOID garnet.
I love DEMANTOID garnet.
Up and down. Okay, if you guys pay attention to Jewels of the Trade, she talks about DEMANTOIDs and John with Prosperity Earth, and we ordered these DEMANTOIDs from John. Thanks to Jordan's connection for both mine and Jamie's wedding bands. Thanks to you, Jordan, we have these amazing DEMANTOIDs that are going up against my green diamond.
Yes.
You know, when we think about what does a diamond grader buy, my wonderful partner in everything, Jamie, he was saving up so much money. He was like, I'm going to get you this 2 carat. It's going to be perfect. I get in this diamond from our big diamond dealer. We have multiple, but she gets me my fun diamonds like this one. She sent in all these different colored diamonds for a trunk show we were having. And I'm pulling like, oh, that's pretty. Oh, it's pretty. Oh, no, that's nice. That's it. And then I pulled this one out. I was, oh, no.
You're like, it's over. This is it. And that was a diamond that you chose because you saw it, not because you saw the grading, not because you went to Blue Nile, right? And then saw like a list. It's like, oh, it's this carat weight and it's this color and it's this. Because had you done that, had you seen just the credentials of your diamond and not actually seen the stone, do you think you would have wanted to give it a second look?
A normal person would say no. But there was a cloud of needles. Clouds is an inclusion that's inside your stone and it looks like a cloud. And then there's needles that grow in the diamonds and they look like needles. Mine would definitely be like a low SI2. SI means slightly included. There's flawless. And then we have internally flawless. And then we have VVS, very, very slightly included, 1 and 2. VS, 1 and 2. Very slightly included. SI, 1 and 2, slightly included. And then I, included, right? If you see SI3, should be considered an I.
Make no mistake, an SI3 diamond is an I1 diamond.
Is an I1. What are the big characteristics that we need to be aware of when we're looking on I1s versus SI2s? I1s are eye visible inclusions. Or there is something that you may not be able to see that makes it be structurally unsound. Diamonds are indestructible. If you hit a diamond just along the right plane, it'll break. That's called your cleavage. And we use cleavage to cut diamonds. Every single diamond that comes out of the ground is interesting. There's some kind of inclusion, some surface graining, internal graining, twinning wisp. I mean, there's so many cool things that can be inside stones. If you hit the diamond just the right way, and if there's a surface reaching inclusion and you whack it, that is totally I1, I2, I3 territory. But for me, I find a lot of inclusions really interesting. My diamond has some random naturals on it. Naturals have part of the outside of the natural diamond, and it usually includes trigons.
They're so cool. One of the other really unique inclusions that you can see in diamonds, a lot of people don't realize this, you can actually have garnet, which is, it's typically red, I think, in diamond inclusions, but garnet can actually form inside of the diamond. Just because it has inclusions, that does not make it a bad diamond. What is most important to be mentioned about this particular thing is that not all diamonds are graded the same. which means that even though, so GIA has their standards where they say, like you said, I1, I2, I3, there could be something that compromises the stone. Well, what about a grading lab who would take that same inclusion and call it an SI1? And that's a thing.
It is a thing. You could send the same diamond, even though GIA has the exact same standards, it might not be the same. And also, you know, cut grade on symmetry and polish and all of those things. These are all things that are opinions. While I was working at GIA, something that you would call an SI1 one day, and people up the grading scale was like, oh yeah, that's definitely an SI1. And then you see something 2 days from now that's very, very similar, same habit, same position, same everything. Oh, that's an SI2. And it makes it very, very hard to be a diamond grader.
And that's just within one lab. We're not even talking about how EGL or IGI have completely different grading standards. So like it's actually really common to look at an EGL SI1 and say, oh, well, that would be a GIA I1. And so you have to have this experience with diamonds to be able to read those grades.
When you're looking at the color range, it's so broad. It's so broad. So I'm happy to send this to anyone so you can see what we're talking about. But the biggest thing that I want you all to know, if you're out purchasing a diamond, is try to get someone that you trust and look at the stones. See if you love them. I personally do a ton of diamond engagement rings and colored stone engagement rings. I do them both because not everybody loves a diamond. It takes someone who's been in the industry to understand you want to have your stone to be, you want it to be sparkling. You want it to be pretty. You want it to be in your budget. You want it to encapsulate your personality and fit into your lifestyle.
Yes.
We do a lot of mining ourselves. It helps us bring you guys to let you know this is where your rocks are coming from. Now, I'm not going to wear my diamond there. I have a dinosaur bone tungsten carbide ring. For me, making sure that my clients are very well educated on what they're buying, how to care for it, when to not wear it. That's really important.
We should definitely take a second. I don't know. Hey, everybody. I don't know if we told you who this is. This is Rebecca with the Rutile Limited. And we talked about how Rebecca is a diamond grader, or she was a diamond grader for GIA, but now she's the owner of the Rutile Limited, and she calls herself the queen of off-color and included diamonds. And what the Rutile is it's an online and concierge retailer that, in my opinion, has really embraced the 21st century shopping paradigm that I think customers are hungry for. And she does that in the form of Zoom consultations and client education like this, mine-to-market sourcing, custom jewelry, and really unique bridal. And her company is actually, it's really truly, in my opinion, exhibiting the type of ethics and communication that customers are genuinely looking for and that they're not getting from chain stores.
A lot of my ethics and why I run the Rutile the way I do is I worked for AGS, which is the American Gemological Society stores. So AGS stores are great. If you are, want to be not work with someone virtually, totally cool. I get it. It's kind of weird for some people. Other people are like, this is so convenient. AGS member stores take so much pride in what they do. They usually don't pay their salespeople commission because it's not the feeling of trying to make you sell in order to make the sale. They want you to sell to fulfill the need. With working with the Rutile, we can get you a more cost-effective option. And also with Zoom consultations and videos, I can show you the sparkle, the scintillation, if you will, the way that the light moves around the diamond. You can see all these things. So even though if we're not person to person, you can actually see this by the way that I do videography of the jewelry for you. So you can actually choose even online. And that's not something that someone like Blue Nile might do. Like they'll put it on a turntable.
In perfect lighting conditions, like without any actual lifestyle application. They're also going to probably make effort to hide whatever it is that they think people don't want to see. We're not fans of Blue Nile over here, guys. Not fans of James Allen,
No.
not fans of Signet.
Sorry, not sorry. There's so much marketing that goes into those businesses, and they make you feel like you're making an educated choice because you get to look at the certs or the certificates.
It's like a little card. It's not even like an actual diamond report. They want you to think it's the same as the type of report you would get from GIA, and it's not.
It's not. And as we said, it's entirely an opinion. All of our diamond grading, even colored stone grading, it's not an exact science. When you work with somebody who actually has your best interest at mind, it makes a whole world of difference. I'm not out trying to make commissions or make my dollars or anything. I love what I do. I feel like our consumers are getting a bit more interested in what they're doing and doing their research online. I truly feel that we're empowering our buyers by telling them the whole story.
Yes.
So if you're looking for an engagement ring or a really cool diamond, or it could be a diamond engagement, it could be a colored stone engagement ring, it could just be a fun, here's a big cool thing on my right hand ring, or any other kind of jewelry, you can get in touch with me so many different ways. I try to be super available. You can go onto our website and just chat right there. I'm there all the time. It goes right to my phone. If I'm, it's neat.
21st century is mind-blowing. Yeah.
If you talk to me on my website, you talk to me on my cell phone. You can text us if you want, 850-270-8542. You can email us at info@therutile.com. And we're on Facebook. We're on Instagram. We are on Pinterest. We are everywhere. If you use any of those social media platforms, you can just send a little message and we will set up a date and time to discuss everything. And I don't charge anything for this. And this is the cool thing. We'll also include a link for where you can look at all of our policies about custom orders. And you can pick out a date and time and schedule it right there on our website. So if you're like me and don't actually like talking to people,
I'm like you. I don't like talking to people. Walmart grocery pickup is the best thing that's ever happened to me.
Yeah. So I'm over here going, hey, talk to me. But if you don't like talking to people like me, who wants to talk to you, you can schedule on our Calendly app on our website for custom jewelry. And then we can talk to figure out exactly what kind of stone is going to fit your lifestyle best.